Stevie from BB's Handmade Dress, and I'm here for another fabric haul. Another one. Yay! Okay, so here we go. This is my Fabric Godmother haul from the Sussex Meetup. So I've already done a ditto haul. So if you want to see that one, it'll be in my playlist somewhere. I will try and link it down below too. So if I'm wearing the same outfit, I'm doing these in tandem with each other. So in case you wondered why I'm in my lovely hemlock, although I do practically live in it most of the time. So let's get going. Okay, so Fabric Godmother, I go a lot to see Josie. She has open days about every 3 months. I know the next one is now in October. We tend to leave it for the summer and then run them again about every 3 months after that. So these are things that I bought a few months ago now at the Sussex Meetup. So without further ado, let's get started. There's a fair few bits to see. Okay, so the first one is this lovely blush denim. So it is a 3% stretch, 3% elastane content. I wanted to make Mia jeans out of this. I have made one pair of Mia jeans and they're alright. They're not amazing, they're not awful. I haven't blogged them yet, so there you go, there's a little bit of an exclusive for you. I might make a pair of gingers out of this. I think I bought 2 meters and I know she doesn't have it anymore. Sad face. But I know she's got loads and loads of different denims with a decent amount of stretch in them if you were thinking about making gingers. So this is my lovely blush denim. So moving on. So this is my splurge of the meetup. She had the Atelier Brunette French Terry in every colourway, but it was still in the plastic. So she very kindly opened it so that I could have some. I missed out on it the first time. It sold out everywhere within what seemed like seconds, but I got some finally. It was £22 a metre, which for me is it's a heart-stopping price. I do agree that it's a lot of money for a bit of fabric. So I bought 1.5 meters of this. I had a bit of a discount as well because of the meetup, so that helped. But it's lovely quality. It is got little beautiful gold dots on it. Difficult to see. They are quite a lot duller than I thought they'd be. I thought they'd be really, really sparkly, but they're not. They're just kind of a pale gold, I guess, if you can see. There we are. And then it's looped on the back, as it's a French Terry loop back jersey. It's lovely and soft. It's lighter weight than I anticipated as well, which isn't a bad thing. I find some French Terries are just a bit like, you know, the minky fabric you get for babies. Sometimes I find it's that sort of thickness and I'd be too hot in it regardless as to whether it was December or July. So I've seen some gorgeous versions of jumpers in this. So I'm thinking the tulip top from Blank Slate Patterns, which has a lovely curved hem. Sorry, you can't see my hands, but curved hem. And so it makes kind of a tulip shape at the front. It's I think a raglan sleeve. I've seen lots of toaster sweaters out of this and lindens, so I don't really want to overdo those patterns because obviously they're popular for a reason, but I would have the same top as everybody else, and I prefer to have my own top of my own design sometimes. So that is gorgeous. It's more of a mauvey pink than a blush pink. If I compare it to my very blush pink denim, it should give you a bit of an idea of the sort of mauviness of it. Bring it into the light a little. I don't dislike that. As you can see, I wear grey and pink, so mash them together, you've got this sort of tone. But it's really lovely, good quality fabric, and I'm glad I waited for it and got it in the end. So that is my Atelier Brunette. I think it's Twinkle in blush thing. This one is actually being cut out as we speak, so you can only see a little bit of it. Josie has now got this in a scuba, which I've seen, and it's awesome. I'm not a scuba person, I'll say it over and over again, but I've got this lawn which is now available in a scuba, and lots of people are liking it, and that's brilliant. You know, I've seen some good dresses in it. So here it is. It's the watercolour floral in lawn, and it is beautiful, and I'm going to make an Alex shirt dress out of this one. That's what I've decided. So it is a lovely drape. It's still in the shop. It's become one of her stock fabrics, I think, because it's so popular. It's just got that painterly effect that I love in my patterned fabrics, particularly my florals. I find they are much more grown up than some of the other florals I've seen. I'm not a ditzy print kind of person, but I do love a good floral. So this one will be an Alex shirt dress. It is, as we speak, laid out on my table to be such. I got 3 meters of that. Hopefully my Alex shirt dress won't take up all of it. I'd really like to make myself some little pyjama shorts at the end of that, if I could, with a lovely white top. I think that would be cute. So there's that one. Okay, so going on to a similar vein, I have another digital print, because we know I love a digital print. This is another lawn, and it has peonies and tulips and is beautiful. Peonies are my favourite flower. I love them, particularly the Sarah Bernhardt ones, which are this lovely pale pink here. I had them in my wedding bouquet because they are just the best. I love them. But this has some kind of interesting blue tones and greens and yellows and apricot and lots of interesting leaves and foliage. I like to call it botanical, I think is probably where I'd go with that one. It's botanical. I think this one's still in from what I gather. I can't promise though, because I don't remember seeing it recently. But yes, it's lovely. And this will probably be a shirt as well. My mum said to me, oh, that's got to be a dress because it's such a big scale print, which it is. I don't know if I would make it a dress. Perhaps if it was something really simple, but I'm not a dress wearer. I'd rather it was a shirt, like a long line shirt that I could wear with jeans. It's much more wearable for me that way. So yes, that is my lovely cotton lawn in the digital print. Cost-wise with the lawns, I think they were in the 10 to 15 range. I can definitely check on watercolour floral because I know they've still got it in. But yeah, it's around the 10 to 15 pounds a metre mark, which is, you know, it's high, but if it's something that is truly unique and good quality, then I don't mind sometimes paying that for a fabric. And the more I sew, the more I realise that if I want the quality that I would expect to buy in it's sort of a decent high street store, so I'm not thinking H&M, I'm thinking Hobbs, Joules, you know, those kinds of, that they have a decent level of fabric quality, then I think that investing in my fabric sometimes isn't all bad. Okay, so I just had to hop out a little bit because I'd forgotten that I have this, and I talked about it in my Ditto video and I needed to show you. So this is my Alta Moda Ladies print crepe, which did come from Fabric Godmother, but not on this particular occasion. And I know she's sold out, but Ditto had it in a cotton, I think. So she might still have that, so it's definitely worth having a look at it. It's really pretty. I'm definitely making an Ogden cami out of it. I'm having a bit of trouble with my fit of my Ogden camis. I've made 3, and so I think that if I tweak it a bit more, it might be better. But what happened was I made my Santorini top and it was too big, and that was like, that's fine, what I'll do, just take it inside seams, won't need to worry about it. Then the V starts to lift a bit, which indicates a sort of an FBA, a full bust adjustment, and I thought, oh, I don't want to do one of those. I hate doing those. So what I did was I added a bit back onto the side seams for my 3rd version, which is a white version, and it's lovely, but there's no stretch or give in it at all. And so for that one, it's a little bit tight on my bust and it's a little bit uncomfortable. So what I might end up doing is just perhaps cutting the pattern again at the size that I had it before, because it's really not as big as I was making it out to be. It's comfortable and it sits beautifully at the neckline. So, you know, I might take it in with the sort of towards the hem a bit more from the waist downwards, because that's where most of the volume is. This crepe is a lot thinner than my crepe that was from Minerva, which I made my Santorini cami in. This one's a lot thinner and does actually have a little bit of give in it. So I think that will be just the best Ogden cami ever. Love that. Lots of people have bought it as well. I've seen loads of really cool versions of dresses and things where people have bought that one. So it's definitely one to watch. I'm sure you'll see it popping up all over the blogosphere soon. So my last one from Fabric Godmother for this time, because there will always be a next time, because Josie just gets me. Okay, so for the Sussex Meetup, Josie very kindly did us a little goodie bag, and what was in it was a pattern which I'd not seen before actually. It's a bit unusual. So they're patron de couture. That was terrible French. You'd think I didn't do A level, but patron de couture, and it's this one here. Obviously it won't be flipped, so everything will be backwards, but you know. And it's this shirt, which is really interesting, and I think in a white or a plain blue chambray or a tencel, it'd be a really beautiful shirt. I don't know if I'm brave enough to have a go at it yet. It's not, this DP Studio is not a pattern company I've heard of before, but she had a lot of them come in, so they're a bit avant-garde, which is interesting, and there was a dress that she showed us that she really loved. So that was in my lovely goodie bag, which is brilliant and so generous. And the other thing that was in there is the coveted, beautiful Cobra Corsage fabric. So this is a, is it a lawn or a viscose? I think it's a viscose. And it is beautiful. I wouldn't have bought it because it's black toned, and as you've probably heard me say before, I generally don't wear black near my face. I don't mind it in trousers and things, but sometimes so I did hold back on this one, but she very kindly put in the goodie bag 2 meters of this for everybody at the meetup, which I thought was so sweet of her. And it's really lovely fabric, and I know much coveted. Lots of people have bought it. At the open days, there was one open day where I think I cut almost exclusively Cobra Corsage for the whole afternoon. It has roses and flowers and moths and beetles, and obviously the cobras. And it is really lovely, and I think what I might do with it is, I've seen Zoe make gorgeous trousers from hers, from Sozo, so I think she's blogged them now, so if you check her out on Sozo What Do You Know, I think is still her blog address, she definitely will have those up. I think it's the Lunar Pants she made. They look amazing. I've seen them in real life. They are fab. So I did wonder about maybe making the marigold trousers from that, from Tilly and the Buttons, because I pattern tested marigold, so I've still got my pattern from that one, from when she sent it to me. So maybe the trousers from that one, but it is sort of copying Zoe a little bit. Sorry, Zoe. I know she won't mind, but you know. Or equally a Melilo shirt, but it's whether I'll wear it if it's dark black close to my face, or equally maybe some pajamas. I don't really care wearing black pajamas. I think that'll be rather elegant, I think. So that is my Cobra Corsage 2 meters that I got, and that in terms of cost I think is about £14 a meter or something like that, but I will add a link to that in the description below, because I know she definitely has that one still. So that's everything for today. I'm sure I will hop on and see you for another fabric haul soon. I've got a lot that I've purchased over the last few months, and so it's nice to kind of show everybody what it is and make myself a bit accountable for the fabric that I have, and that will hopefully spur me on to sew some of it rather than just stashing and stroking it, which is what I tend to do a lot of the time. So I hope you have a great day. I'm on Instagram at BB Handmade Dress. You can find me on my blog at bbshandmadedress.blogspot.com. I'll put it in the link below. And I hope you have a great day, and it's fabric filled and fabulous. See you again.